truly a terrible idea.
I've been training her since she was a... Wow, we have a special bond.
The Cretaceous period is when the movie first begins. Before a T-Rex attacks the diminutive but deadly dino predators known as snappers, several monsters feed on the smaller animals. After the T-Rex has been devoured, the Meg emerges from the water and drags the bloodied carcass back under. Jonas Taylor emerges from a shipping container in the present while traveling across the Philippine Sea in a boat. He is there to prevent some men from throwing hazardous rubbish into the water. He begins to beat down the thugs after getting his information before jumping into the water and being rescued by Mac and Regis in their helicopter. Juming Zhang is putting an exosuit designed for operating underwater to the test at a Chinese oceanographic institute. Jonas has taken on the role of a parent to Mei Ying as he is Mei Ying's uncle and Suyin's brother, who recently passed away. They go to the institute's function, which is hosted by Juming's business associate Hilary Driscoll. In honor of Suyin and their father, Juming promises to carry on ocean-based research. Then Juming exhibits Haichi, a megalodon that he claims can obey his directions. Jonas, meantime, catches Montez, a suspicious-looking man, staring at him during the gathering. Juming attempts to conduct a test in which he makes noises using a device to frighten Haichi away from him. The crew becomes concerned for Juming during the second run since Haichi doesn't seem to be paying attention, but he returns to the station unharmed. Jonas expresses concern for Haichi's actions and accuses Juming of being careless. Haichi breaks through the vents and swims into open ocean when the crew neglects to watch on her. As they travel to the Mana 1 research facility to investigate the Mariana Trench, Jonas joins Juming, Mac, Regis, and DJ. They also meet with Jess, another analyst. Despite Jonas asking her to stay behind for protection, Mei Ying stows away. The crew of the sub realizes Haichi has escaped and is with two other Megs while submerged in water. Before he notices the Mana 1 team nearby, Montez is in charge of a mineral farming operation. He detonates the entire structure, killing everyone on board and bringing down the opposing sub. When Montez reports to his employer, Driscoll, he is told that they must stop the Mana 1 crew from discovering their job at the station. Mac finds that the sub was sabotaged after everyone has recovered. With little air available, the crew leaves the sub and uses the exosuits to reach the nearest station. One crew member, Lance, perishes after being dragged away by sea life, and another, Sal, is gobbled up by a Meg after shoving another crew member aside. One more crew member, Curtis, has her suit implode before the water is emptied because her helmet ruptured as they approach the station. The team then starts searching the station for a method to summon assistance. After turning on a video monitor and making contact with the station, they discover that Jess is a member of Driscoll's team and has betrayed the others. Regis is told to shoot Jonas so that at least Mei Ying can return, and she releases the escape pods they required, but she cannot bring herself to do it. Driscoll then tells the crew that she intends to use Juming's technology for their scheme. When Jonas tries to drain the water out of the other sub to get out, he passes out and is captured by Montez. He admits he holds a personal vengeance against Jonas because he put him in jail for his illegal behavior in the past. They fight for a moment, but Jonas manages to get the crew onto the submarine so they can escape. Mac and DJ are simultaneously watching camera footage of Jess destroying the sub and discovering her lie. The two are pursued by Driscoll's mercenaries but are able to escape by diving into the water. Unfortunately, they are nonetheless discovered. Back in Mana 1, Jonas and the group battle the mercenaries to release Mac and DJ. The Megs then begin traveling to the station while Montez reunites with his lover Jess. Jess assures Driscoll that she is protected by Meg-proof glass when she speaks to her dot and then, with Montez inconsolable, one of the Megs chomps through it and swallows Jess whole. The crew then boards a raft to escape as the station begins to absorb water. The mercenaries pursue them in their own raft, but they too are eaten by Meg. While Jonas is developing explosive and poisonous harpoons to use against the Megs, the group begins moving toward Fun Island, a vacation spot. With the surviving mercenaries, Montez then begins pursuing the crew. A huge squid nearby pulls a boat full of people into the water. The snappers surface as Driscoll and her team attempt to fly off the island. Some of the other mercs also have unpleasant contacts with them, and one of them pulls Driscoll away to her death. The crew then tries to rescue the tourists as the Megs start to appear and start consuming some of them. In addition to DJ, Mac, Regis, and Juming splitting up to assist, Jonas is also attempting to save some lives. Mei Ying jumps into the sea to assist in rescue efforts as well. The four encounter the remaining mercs, who hold them at gunpoint until Mac gets DJ to open a door, allowing the snappers to come in and eat them so that they can run away. Mac and Juming find Driscoll's chopper and start to make their way out, setting the snappers on fire as they charge toward them after spraying them with jet fuel. By ramming the exploding harpoon into one Meg's face, Jonas is able to kill it, but Montez pursues him before he can go after the second one. After a brief altercation, Jonas kicks Montez into the water just before the Meg emerges to devour him. Before Juming makes a bomb and wedges it into the squid's side, the squid wreaks havoc on the resort and murders more people. Then Haichi enters the water and drowns the squid. After Jonas calls attention to it, the final Meg charges at it, and he uses a chopper blade that has broken to impale the Meg through the mouth. When Jonas, Mac, and Juming enter the sea to swim back to land, Haichi begins to approach them. In order to get her to swim away from them and turn back, Juming deploys his invention. Although Jonas claims she is tracking dolphins, he believes she is actually paying attention to him. Together with Regis, Mei Ying, and DJ, the three return to the beach. Juming speculates that Haichi may have been carrying a pregnancy when she left her enclosure because it was mating season. While they sat and enjoy their beverages and survival, Jonas advises that it would be best to avoid thinking about it. Jonas Taylor is currently working with a team to combat eco-terrorists and do additional research underwater. A megalodon named Haichi is kept in captivity by one of his business partners, Juming Zhang, who is Mei Ying's uncle and the brother of her deceased mother Suyin. In the sea with two other Megs, Haichi manages to escape. Jonas and his team discover that Hilary Driscoll, who funded Juming's research with investment, is exploiting his technology to finance her business to mine minerals beneath the sea. The crew's analyst, Jess, is also collaborating with the bad guys, and one of her mercenaries, Montez, has a particular vendetta against Jonas. While the Mana 1 crew escapes to safety, Jess is devoured. They discover that the Megs and a gigantic squid are also traveling in that direction as they begin to approach Fun Island, a resort. The mercenaries are fought by Jonas's companions alongside ancient predators known as snappers, one of which ends up killing Driscoll. Montez is kicked into Meg's mouth by Jonas as they struggle. While Haichi kills the squid and returns to the ocean, far from the humans, he is able to kill one Meg with an exploding harpoon and impale the other through the mouth. Haiki's potential pregnancy is also brought up, but Jonas says they shouldn't worry as they've already made it through. We appreciate you seeing the video. Kindly remember to subscribe to our channel. Share and like the video if you can. Goodbye.
Escape the breach.